This fanfiction is only for entertainment purposes, so please don't take it seriously and don't be offended. It's just a story made out of imagination, so it doesn't define any character in real life. I hope you'll enjoy the story and leave positive comments without hating the author and character. I don't own any pictures, but the storylines are completely mine. I will do voiceover so you can mute it if you want. Hope you will like the video.
Y/N's hands were tied with a rope while her eyes were blindfolded. A cloth was tightly tied around her mouth too. She was struggling while her tears kept falling as she didn't know what's happening. Last thing that she remembered was when she was going to her college, but suddenly someone sprays something on her face and then everything goes blank. Then when she opened her eyes again, she was in this situation. Suddenly she heard some footsteps and voices. "Sir, you are definitely gonna love it. She's the most beautiful girl I have ever seen and she's not till used. That means we are giving you a pure product so you know." Clear throat. About amount. "Lucian, my boss didn't approve of her yet. So shut your greedy mouth and show us the girl. If he didn't like it then forgot about the amount, we aren't even leaving you alive." His words make that man shut his mouth immediately. While behind Lucian was a man wearing a mask whom he was calling his boss. The underworld mysterious king, the one who rules the dark realm V. No one even knew his original name, forget about his face. His steps hurried as he saw the girl on bed struggling. In the very next moment, he was holding her chin making her shiver as she tried to pull away but his grip tightened. A small smirk appeared on Lucian's face as he realized that his boss got what he was looking for. "You can even have a trial with her if you need, sir." That man says smiling heavily, thinking his pocket is going to be full today. Lucian signaled the guards to surround that man and they did, making him confused. In the meanwhile, V pulled Y/N close to himself while she was shivering badly. He dragged his lips across her cheek with a wicked smile then threw her over his shoulder. Lucian pulled out his G*N. Before that man could understand anything, he was laying on floor in his own BL00D. V, burn down the whole brothel, he says, and then left with her while Lucian stretched his neck and get ready for the fun while the other guards laugh realizing they are finally going to have some fun. Y/N fainted after hearing that G*N shot in that room and just woke up now. She opened her eyes slowly and finally she can see as she was no longer blindfolded. Her hands weren't tied, neither her mouth was, yet she couldn't make a single noise because her body was aching badly. She felt pain all over her body. Too tired to make a sound, but she didn't even do anything the whole day, then why was she feeling so tired? V, welcome home, Belle. You're finally where you belong. She turned her face only for her hand to clench the bedsheet in a fist as she saw the man in front of her. He was wearing a mask while playing with a gun in one hand and other holds a cigarette. She had seen this man on TV many times. Everyone calls him the god of death. Someone who didn't know what mercy is and someone whom if you meet even by accident then kill yourself before giving him a chance to do so. She tried to get up but couldn't as she felt too weak. V, make yourself comfortable. As it won't last. He says walking towards her, and after gathering all her courage she finally sat up. She didn't dare to look at him while he traced her arm with his G*N making her shut her eyes in fear. His G*N traces from her arm to the crook of her neck then to her collarbone and at last stopped at her chest, in between of her B00BS. Her eyes widened realizing this when she suddenly felt his breath on her neck. She slowly turned her head at him and her breath quickened seeing him so close to her. He leaned closer only for her to lean back a little, making him tilt his head at her while looking at her with his darkened eyes. V, when I invade your space, you let me. That's how survival works here. He says pulling her close with her hair making her flinch. Then his eyes traded at her lips. He pressed his thumb on it and feel the softness which makes him smile. He took the cigarette near her lips with a smirk. V, take a puff. Y/N, I don't. V, cut her off, did my order sounds like a question to you? huh? He say, pressing the cigarette red on her lips, making her part them a little, and he pushed it into her mouth. She took a puff in fear only to end up coughing the very next second. He took that cigarette and took a puff himself with a smirk while she was a coughing mess. She holds her chest while coughing badly. He looks at it, then passes her a glass of water and she gulped it in one go. He kept looking at her, his eyes stuck at her while he takes long puff like trying to silence something inside him. Finally, when she was a little calmed down, she looked at him in fear as he sat across her. He tucked her hair behind her ear and touched her earlobe. A small smirk came on his face as he saw her flushed ear. Then he pulled his hand back and put the cigarette on the table. He pulled out a small box from his pocket, and before she could understand anything, a ring was slid on her ring finger by him. She looks at him shocked while he kissed the back of her hand. Still maintaining the eye contact, he gave a wet kiss there on her hand, making her feel goosebumps. Just then a knock on the door. Come in, Lucian. Lucian enter with a transparent box, and as soon as Y/N gaze fall on it, a loud scream escaped her mouth. Her hand gripped his hand in fear as she closed her eyes. That box was filled of human real fingers, all wearing the same ring he just made her wear. She shivered badly while he chuckled darkly. Lucian, who already saw the ring on her finger, just sighed, knowing what his boss is planning. Lucian, what should I do next, boss? Announced that I got the late Mafia King daughter, YN, and she's my fiancée now. No one will object me becoming the next Mafia King then. Her blood turned cold as she realizes he knew and that she can't hide from these peoples anymore. She realizes that her dad's sacrifice for her goes in vain as she's again dragged in this wrong world. A tear escaped her eyes, but she still didn't open them. Lucian turned around to left. Put that box here. Lucian did as he was told to, then left. Grabbed her chin and make her look at him. Close your eyes again without permission, and I'll remind you why you shouldn't. He said, making her open her eyes immediately, and he smirked. Then his thumb traces her cheek as he spoke. If you want to survive here, then listen to each and every word I spoke. Disobey me and I will throw you in front of those hungry men, and you know very well that what a hungry man does to a beautiful girl like you. So you will follow me, right? He asked, more like a command, and she just nodded. Good Belle. But use words when I ask something, not signals. Do you get it, Belle? Y/N, yes. He smirked while his one hand wrapped around her lower back, pulling her closer to himself. Her hand landed on his chest for balance as she looked at him with her breath hitched. Taehyung. It's Taehyung for you. Y/N, Taehyung, say it with your D at MN mouth, Belle. Y/N, Taehyung. He chuckled, seeing how much she shuddered in just saying his name. He pressed his lips against her hungrily, making her eyes widen, and she tried to push him away only for him to hold her hand and try to drag her hand down his body. Her eyes widened as she realized that he's trying to make her touch his thing, so she gripped his shirt tightly. Taehyung smirked in between the kisses. Even though she didn't give him the access inside her mouth yet, he was enjoying it because she was flushed against him. Then he finally pulled away after 5 whole minutes. She looked at him completely shocked. Taehyung, smirk, you're staring like I committed a sin. Trust me, this isn't one. He says, making her flushed as she tried to pull away, but his grip only tightened. Taehyung, this reaction tells me how untouched you really are. He says, and before he could pull her again, his phone rang. With a groan, he picked it up, and with each passing seconds, his expression changed, making her scared because now he does look angry. She pushed him away, and this time he didn't caught her as she crawled back in fear. He just stood up and then threw his phone away in anger, making it shattered with broken pieces on ground. She tightly shut her eyes. He left without another word, and she just kept sitting there in fear. Lucian entered in the kitchen only to saw it almost empty. Almost because there was a girl whose back he can see only. She was doing something in the corner, making him alert as whatever she was doing, she was purposely hiding it. He pulled out his phone immediately and slowly go near him, then pressed his gun at her forehead from behind, making her flinch. Lucian, turn around without making any noise. He say, and that girl turn around while shivering. He finally take a look at her face. Her mouth was stuffed with food, and as he looked behind her, there was only a plate of food. She shivered seeing the G*N and immediately kneeled down while choking on the food. Tears slipped down her eyes as she realizes that she's going to die tonight. He saw this and immediately patted her back while passing her a water bottle. She gulped it down in one go in nervousness, making almost half of the water flew down her body. Her dress was wet now on her chest side, making him look at it. He again looked at her tear-streaked face. Lucian, what's your age? 9. 19. She replied, still shivering and not daring to look at him. Lucian, your name? Iris. Lucian, are you new here? He asked, finally removing his jacket and covered her front wet side of body with it. She just nodded while holding that jacket close to her chest. Lucian, don't you know that we have separate servant corner for servants to eat there? He said, only for her to shed more tears as she remembers what happens there with her. He saw her reaction on his question and didn't repeat the question, understanding something was wrong. Iris, I am sorry. I was who hungry an. She wasn't even able to complete her sentence as he grabbed her arm and make her stood up. Just then his phone rang and he answered it without looking away or saying anything on the call. His brows furrowed as he heard the things that man was saying on the other side of the call. He immediately ended the call and pulled Iris up in her arms. Lucian, do not come out of the room until I came back. He said, and then took her to an unfamiliar room, locked her in and left from there while she was sitting on floor inside, shivering. Lucian entered the scene, but it was already too late as he saw a man laying on floor completely bloodied. Then he looked at Taehyung, who was standing there holding an iron rod covered in BL00D. All guards were looking down, shivering in fear, knowing what's going to happen with them next. Lucian silently walked towards Taehyung, took the R0D from his hand and threw it away. Then took out his hanky and wiped the BL00D from his hand. Taehyung looked at him and took a deep breath before speaking. Taehyung, how did Noah ran away? How the H*LL did he? Lucian, calmly, someone in our group helped him. He said, making Taehyung blood boil as he grabbed Lucian's arm and spoke. Taehyung, before Noah found that leech who dared to betray me, I will torn apart his SKN and then bath in his BL00D. He spoke with his darkened eyes, and Lucian knew in that moment that Taehyung wasn't joking. He's going to do it at once he found that betrayer, making Lucian gulp. Then Taehyung pick up his coat from the chair and wear it again like he was ready to leave for now. Taehyung, Noah must not reach my bell at any condition. There's some secret which meant to remain secrets always. She must not found out the truth. Lucian just nodded while Taehyung wears his cufflinks. Just then a guard came with a glass of wine, making Lucian's eyes widened as he knew if Taehyung drink it, then no one's gonna leave alive from here. Only Deb Zero dies will leave this scene then. Before Taehyung could take it, Lucian grabbed that glass, making Taehyung look at him while raising his eyebrow. Lucian, I was thirsty. Taehyung, smirk, oh. Then drink it in one go. Taehyung say, looking at him as he knew Lucian isn't a drinker. Still Lucian with a heavy heart drink it all in one go, making Taehyung chuckled as he patted Lucian's shoulder. Taehyung, you still didn't know me very well, Lucian. That one was really for you so that you won't disturb me while I deliver the verdict here. His eyes widened, but it was too late as he already felt his head heavy, and the next moment he was in Taehyung's arm. Taehyung, sleep well, Ian. He says, smirking while Lucian was already deep into his imaginary world. Lucian woke up in the hall couch, his head heavy. He walked towards his room, stumbling. He opened the lock and then again locked the door after entering inside. Iris, who was still sitting on floor, shivered as she saw him entering intoxicated. She tried to stood up and ran, but he grabbed her wrist before she can do so. He loosened his tie completely, then removed his jacket. His gaze still on her as he gulped because she looked too innocent and pure. He removed his tie finally and tied it around her wrist. Then he threw her on his bed and jumped on her. She gulped. Iris, please don't. Lucian, you look just like her. He said while gulping and digged her face in the crook of her neck while a tear escaped his eyes like he was remembering a painful memory. He was pinning her hands on bed while leaving his marks on her neck, and she finally let out a sinful sound, making his breath quickened. Lucian, that sound. Just like her voice. Call me Ian. Say it while making that noise. He say impatient, but she didn't make any noise, just kept trying to free herself. He got impatient seeing this and bite harshly on her neck, sucked it, do everything just to make her let that sound out. Iris, Ian. And that's where he lost his sanity to the monster inside him as his torture on her neck worsened just to hear those sounds again and again. Y/N was hiding behind the library shelf from the man standing a little far from her, completely intoxicated and talking about a girl whom them have s*x with. Her blood turned cold as she regretted her decision to ever come out from that room. She just came out after Taehyung didn't come back for an hour, but who knew she will end up here. She realizes that at this moment, these mans are way more dangerous for her than Taehyung. She kept shivering, looking for just one moment, one chance to go back, but she didn't get any. Just then a hand from behind wrapped around her waist, making her flinch, and before she can even shout, another hand tightly covered her mouth, making a tear slip down her eyes. She tried to move, struggle, but nothing was helpful. The very next moment, she found a pair of lips dragging themselves in the crook of her neck, making her shut her eyes in fear. To be continued.